This presentation on block letter styles accompanies my ebook, Write It Right. I am Mary Lou Kelly, author of Write It Right, an ebook that is available for free to view and download on my website at www.notesbymarylou.com on the Writings by Mary Lou page. All of the standard letter styles have a relationship with the standard block letter style. So the focus of this presentation is on the formatting of the block letter style. So what is a block letter style? It is the simplest of all letter styles. All parts are flush left with the left margin, and the paragraphs in the body are single spaced. The main parts of the block letter are the date, the special notation, the inside address, the salutation, the reference line, the body, the complimentary close, the signature line, and the reference initials, enclosure notations, and copy notations if there are any. All of these parts are not required in the block letter. However, the parts of the letter should appear in this order if they are included in the letter. The only exception is a reference line. It is acceptable to place a reference line between the inside address and the salutation. The parts that are required in a block letter are the date, the inside address, the salutation, the body, the complimentary close, and the signature line. There are also line spacing rules in the block letter style. The date should appear between the letterhead and the inside address. Between the date and the inside address, there should be 1 to 4 blank lines depending on the length of the letter. Between the inside address and the salutation, there should be 1 blank line. Between the salutation and the first paragraph, there should be 1 blank line. The paragraphs of the letter should be single-spaced with a double space between each paragraph. Note that in the letter you're viewing, the paragraphs are called the body of the letter. After the last paragraph, there should be 1 blank line before the complimentary close, and after the complimentary close, there should be 2 to 4 blank lines before the signature line. If there are any other parts in the letter after the signature line, which there are in the letter that you're looking at, each part should be single-spaced with a double space between the parts. Note that a double space, by definition, results in 1 blank line only between the parts. In this example, you're seeing a part of the letter that hasn't been shown before, and that's the special notation. A special notation is a letter part that normally enhances and clarifies the address. Here, the special notation is confidential, which means that this letter is for the eyes only of the recipient. All special notations should appear double-spaced above the inside address. This is another example of proper spacing. In summary, Pearson Business Reference and Writer's Handbook, which was published in 2010, shows the spacing of the parts of a block letter to be what you see on this screen. I'll hesitate a minute and let you review them. You should note that so far in this presentation, all references made were about the block letter. The block letter is sometimes called the full block letter because all parts of the letter align with the left margin. Hereafter, I want to present to you variations of the block letter. And in the variations, you're going to see that everything doesn't always line up at the left-hand margin like it did in the block letter. In what you're viewing here, the modified block style variation, everything said thus far about the block letter style is the same except for the following parts that instead begin at the center of the page: the date, the complementary close, and the signature line. Another variation of the block letter style is a semi-block style. The semi-block style is the same as the modified block style, except the first sentence of each paragraph is indented 5 to 10 spaces. Normally, it is indented only 5 spaces. Under no circumstances would you indent more than 10 spaces. And the last variation that I want to show you is my personal favorite. It was created by the Administrative Management Society, and it's called the Simplified letter style. In this letter style, the salutation and closing are omitted. Otherwise, the simplified letter style is exactly like the block letter style, in which all parts begin at the left margin. In using the simplified letter style, the writer avoids the common problems of inappropriate salutations and awkward courtesy closings, which is the main reason I really like this letter. In the simplified letter style, the subject line is typed in all caps, 2 blank lines below the recipient's address and 2 lines before the first paragraph. And in this style, you always put in the reference line, or what we call also the subject line, which is another reason I like this style. So in this presentation, I have presented the block letter style and various variations of that style: the modified block letter, the semi-block letter, and the simplified letter style. The line spacing is pretty much the same in all of them. The only variation in the line spacing is on that simplified letter, and that is because you have 2 blank lines before and 2 blank lines after the subject line, or what we call the reference line. For more information, you can view these websites that I'm showing you on the screen. Sources I used are listed here on this page. And this ends my presentation.